Good morning everyone, it's absolutely freezing today. I've got my hat on, I've got all my layers on, I've got my nipple warmer on, I've got my coat on, and I'm also wearing this little life jacket. And the reason for that is I'm here today on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, and because it's a new year, new me, new start, I thought I'd help out with the Canal and River Trust at doing some volunteer work to try and trim some of these massive bushes here. So we're going to go now and meet some of these wonderful volunteers who dedicate so much of their time helping maintain over 2,000 miles of our wonderful waterways. Is that for me?
That's for you.
Oh my goodness. What have you got on me hat? So I've got my nice shiny helmet, which I'll put on properly after, but I only need to wear this apparently when we're chopping the trees down. So I'm going to introduce you now to all these wonderful volunteers. I don't know all the names yet, but this is Stuart. We've met many times, and Stuart works really hard for the trust, don't you?
We try to.
And the other two volunteers we've got here now are Mel and Dave. How long have you been doing this then?
9 years I've been doing it.
Wow.
Eight and a half, 8
Wow.
years, yeah.
So you're hardcore volunteers
We're
then?
hardcore,
Love
yeah.
it, yes.
So they're just all now preparing their tools, ready to go and trim some bushes. So what's this called here?
This is a pole saw.
Right.
So it's a chainsaw on the end of a big pole.
Hey, and it is a big one, that, isn't it?
And it goes bigger than that.
Woohoo! So we're now on the move and we're heading now to find a little bit of stray bush that may need a trim.
We've done these.
Oh. Oh yeah, you can see.
As much as we can do. Obviously the big trees are well beyond us.
It's such a different perspective seeing the waterways from the crew deck of a workboat rather than my usual captain's perch at the stern where I survey my watery kingdom like a true pirate. I'm reminded just how much graft goes on behind the scenes to keep these beautiful stretches of history and nature looking their best. So he's just chopped that massive branch off and it's fallen into the canal now, so what our job is to get it lifted out and make it into smaller pieces. So Mel, tell us about this tool you're using here.
Well, we're very honoured to be using this today without the owner. This is Len's Claw, and it's a real important piece of toolkit because it's fabulous for getting all the branches out. It gets into narrow spots where the keb doesn't fit. Pretty strong. We got the pole out of the canal years ago, so we recycle what we can. But it's a godsend. It can pull us in. It can get the large branches out where anything else doesn't reach, you know. It's great for picking out plastic from the canal. Picks out loads of plastics. It's a good all-rounder. So this is the Claw Mark IV.
So Mel loves that tool because the pole was rescued out the canal a few years ago and it's got a $2.99 little claw on the end. She said just use it more than anything.
Watch your eyes, Jules.
So Dave, what is it about the volunteering that you enjoy?
It gets me out the house every day, comes out in the fresh air and you meet great people while you're out. I've been on the canals with a boat, or started boating in the 1970s. So when it came to finishing work, what was I going to do? So when I retired, you can't just sit at home watching the telly, can you? So I started to volunteer for the canals. Started off, you might remember Sumber, the Shropshire Union Middlewich branch adopters, because my boat was down there. And then when I finished work, I came lockkeeping in Liverpool. And I've been doing it ever since.
And you love it?
It's great. Look, what can you say? You're out in this lovely weather, aren't you? And as a boater, they let me play with boats. What can you say?
So I'm just going to have a quick chat to Stuart now about how long you've been doing this and what is it about volunteering for the Canal and River Trust you actually enjoy?
Well, I've been doing it about 12 years. Retired and went straight on doing the locks at Stanley. And it's just good fun. You know, people you meet, people say it's actually cheaper than going to a gym, which is true. But no, it's interesting. You meet people. and I'm a boater anyway. It's doing this sort of work that is making it easier for me as a boater to come down the canal. You know, it's always at a tree overhanging that you'll meet another boat, and it's great. I love doing it. You know.
And most of the people here today are boaters, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I mean, Jules got his own boat, Dave's got his own boat, I've got a share boat on the Silhouette down at Aqueduct Marina, and it's just, you know, it's giving something back, isn't it?
So you can see it's a very time-consuming process to cut these bits of tree and bush back. And what's happening as well is some of the branches on these trees and that, they're dead prickly, but the gloves are keeping the thorns at bay, luckily. So the boat now is absolutely full of all the branches, so we're going to head off to a place where we can offload this, free up some space, and then we can come back and carry on chopping. So what they're going to do now is they're going to unload the boat and put all the branches and things to the side here, which is wonderful for all the wildlife. And also any boaters coming by can nick the big bits and put them on their fires or season them, you know, put them away till they're ready to burn. But it's really good because it's good for all the wildlife. It's out the way, anything small will rot down. But Mel was just saying before that normally when they put all the small bits to the side and find a place for them, can watch all the moorhens descend and take all the bits ready for their nests. I just think that's super cute, isn't it? So now comes the real workout, unloading what feels like an entire forest onto the towpath. And each time I think I've finished, another load gets lobbed out of the boat. At least I'll sleep well tonight or pass out on the sofa halfway through my evening glass of rum. So we've almost finished emptying the boat now. We've got this big branch to cut down. I say we, I'm not allowed to use chainsaw. Oh, but they're going to cut that down to a more manageable size. But it's how time consuming this all is. But it's so wonderful. We've got a blue sky now and you're outdoors, you're in nature and you just feel great. What a way to start the new year, by being here doing this today with this lovely bunch of people. I'm loving it. I'll tell you what, I am ready for a brew. Now that the boat's free of twigs and branches, we've got the room to take on the big boys. So it's time to fire up the chainsaw and turn these logs into firewood. So there we go, a lovely pile of logs for the next passing boater. Oh, I wish my boat was up here, I'd be having that. And the boat's all lovely and cleaned out as well. Yeah, ready for next load. So I couldn't come on a Canal and River Trust workboat without having a go. So luckily I've got my Hellman's qualification. So, where's your more? So there it is. They're making me reverse it. It's very responsive. It's good, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they reverse quite well.
I'm so excited by this because I can say I've driven a Canal and River Trust workboat. Brilliant!
Perfect.
Those trees there.
Yeah, go round behind them and then come in on them, yeah. So, as you see, they reverse great, don't they?
Well, it's not the boat, it's my skill.
Oh, sorry. I've never seen anybody reverse so well in my life.
I think I have to say this is best reverse I've ever done.
No, it's your skill, you said.
And we're going to be tackling this one next.
That one next, yeah.
Brilliant. It's so much easier having a Morse control. Much better.
Oh, have you got a gear lever and a wheel, have you? Or
Yeah. Yeah.
need two hands?
Yeah. Okay, so we're in position now, so I'm going to give it back over to Stuart, but I've done the hard part, so that's the main thing. There you go, love.
Thank you.
And just like that, the crew moved back into position for round 2 of wrestling with this never-ending jungle of overgrown bushes and stubborn trees.
So they're just going to remove this little bit of pennywater, which is nothing compared to the stuff that I went through when I crossed the River Mersey and went from Ellesmere Port to Chester. It was all over the canal, but here, any bits that you do see, they do remove it because it grows like crazy.
Safer now to go further in.
So obviously, boats don't have brakes, and you don't just get to a position that's perfect for cutting the tree and the boat stay there. It's not. We're all moving about, the wind's blowing, the water moves, the boat's moving. So there's lots of readjusting all the time. A lot of reversing back away from the branches, getting the boat lined up, bringing it a bit closer. Lots of faffing. So it's quite time consuming. It takes a lot longer than you think it would. You think, oh, just go over there, whip them down, and that's it. But it's not. Yeah, as soon as you're getting on one branch, the boat's moving across, you can't reach the next. So it's all part of the fun though. Timber!
These volunteers are absolute legends because when they're not battling the overgrown bushes, they're working the locks. Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if they're powered by pure determination and a secret love of hard graft.
So we're just heading off now to get rid of all of this. Another full boatload.
And just like that, we're back to unloading another boat full of wood and twigs, and the kettle's still refusing to make an appearance.
So Jules, if anybody wanted to get involved in volunteering and doing stuff like this, how would they go about it?
If you go to the Canal and River Trust website and find volunteering, and then you can search for volunteer opportunities near you. You enter your postcode or your town, and it should list all the opportunities and how to get in touch. And they do volunteer drop-in sessions, so you can just go along just as see whether you like it or not, as a sort of one-off. You don't have to commit to anything.
And how long have you been doing it, Jules?
Well, I was a volunteer for about 10 years, and then I've been seasonal lock keeper at Liverpool and on the River Weaver for 3 years, and I've just started full-time now at Liverpool.
And are you loving it?
Oh yeah, it's great. Love great being outdoors. Every day's different, you know. Get to meet lots of nice people like yourself.
Well, hey.
That'll definitely be on the...
Yeah, I won't be editing that out, will I? Just look at this now. This is every boater's dream. It's all there, ready for the next passing boater or boaters to take for their log burners, cut to a nice size as well. So it has been a really busy and long day, and it will be going dark shortly because it's still winter time, you know, the hours goes dark early, but we're now having a well-earned brew. They've got the kettle on, they've got the coffee out and the milk. Have you got any rum?
Got any rum?
We're not allowed on duty, are we?
Oh, not allowed any rum. But I'll tell you what, we'll have some when we get back to the Rum Wench later, won't we? But for now, let's just get a coffee. Let's get something nice and hot inside us to warm us up.
Just one Heidi, or two?
Yeah, just one coffee. A black for me, please. Thank you. Right, cheers, everyone.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Here's mud in your eye.
Yeah,
Wet your lips.
yeah, wet the lips. Oh, she's so clever. Oh. So Bonny has been at my mum and dad's all day today. Nana and granddad's, haven't you? Been at your Nana and granddad's? And I haven't half missed her. But she loves it there and they love her. She gets spoilt rotten. But yeah, it was just so much fun on those workboats today. I mean, I got really cold though, and they do that every week, most weekends, I think. But the good thing about if you are a volunteer is you can choose, I think, when you want to go. But they're crying out, the Canal River Trust, for volunteers at the moment. So if you do want to get involved in all of that, look on the website, because there'll be something going on wherever you are. If there's a canal nearby or even a river, there'll be something going on, and they're desperate for volunteers. Anyway, we're going to pour ourselves a rum to warm ourselves up. Well, you don't need warming up, but I do. Come on, let's get a rum. Every pirate needs a rum at the end of the day, don't they? And today we're going to have a little bit of this, which is Mount Gay Barbados rum. Woo! And whilst I am pouring this, a huge thank you to this week's pirate crew. Thank you for everything you do. I can't remember if I've had this one before. I know the Mount Gay, but I don't recognise the Eclipse. So let's give it a go. So today has been about a load of boaters and canal enthusiasts getting together and trimming some bush. And you know what? I had such an amazing time, and the people I were with were such a laugh and so passionate about the canals, and that was really lovely to see, to be honest. So yes, have a little drink to warm ourselves up. Cheers everyone. Woohoo! Just wet the lips, top ones. Oh, that's lovely. That actually, another. That's very flavoursome and quite smooth. Doesn't need a mixer. That's a really nice rum. So I really did enjoy today, and if anybody is looking to get in the great outdoors, down the canals and helping out as a volunteer for the Canal and River Trust, then I can highly recommend it. And it's not just about keeping the canals clear and helping out the boaters and nature, but also the camaraderie that you have is great for your well-being, mental health. We had such a laugh today. Everyone was dedicated and working so hard, and I felt I was contributing. I felt part of a team, and I feel really good for that, because as you know, I spend so much of my time on my own that today all the banter and the fun, it was just wonderful, and I was with an amazing group of people. Anyway, I am going to leave this week's video here. If you have enjoyed it, please do give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I just want to say as well that things are progressing with my European adventure. I'm able to pick the van up tomorrow, and I'm able to move the boat now. So catch me next week and we'll see what happens. And before I go though, a massive huge thanks to my lovely, gorgeous patrons. That's it everyone, take care, stay safe. Woohoo! I might as well finish it off, aren't we, Bonny?